My name is Patrick.
My name is Ryan.
We are Penthouse boys from Brooklyn.
This is kind of formed like a joke almost.
2 summers ago.
Yeah.
I think I just texted you one day and said we should do it.
Me myself, like I am a big fan of like synth pop music, and I always kind of wanted to do something like this. I guess when Patrick came to me, I was like, sure, let's do it.
Yeah, I was just listening to a lot of Style Council and Lewis, and I was watching Gossip Girl and I was really into the whole image of it as well. I was working a really dumb and depressing job too, and it was a nice, fun thing to focus on.
I'm like perpetually stuck in the 80s like aesthetic, so like I'm a big fan of nostalgia and all that. So it just kind of evolved as we progressed as Penthouse boys.
And we wanted people to have fun when they watch us perform too, live.
The aesthetic's kind of like almost secondary, I think. Just like it came along.
Yeah, and gives us an excuse to like dress up too sometimes, which is always fun. Can you feel it like I feel it tonight? Ryan writes most of the tracks, at least the bass of the tracks. I don't really participate in that, but I do have like a final say on what I think we should keep or get rid of.
Generally, for maybe most of the songs, we wrote them together almost, because like we were in the same room when we were writing. I was like, Patrick, we should write this style. He was like, okay.
Yeah, lots of them were just like recorded in one day, just in Ryan's bedroom back in Brooklyn.
Actually, yeah, Can You Feel It came, like New in Town, Can You Feel It came together in one day. So we were like checking it out and like.
Yeah, and then Telephone too, we wrote like the night before a show and then performed it the next day too.
Yeah, because we were like, oh, we need more songs.
Yeah, we only had like 3 then.
And that's how Telephone came out.
Stay in here tonight, away from dirty lights, view from the penthouse. It's like a take on New York City nightlife from like a Playboy's perspective almost.
I'm a big fan of groove and like funk. If like you're really vibing to it and like you're really digging it, then like that's all I really want you to like kind of feel. If you have fun with it, I guess that's me accomplishing something.
People already dance to the tracks on their own, and you kind of throw this really unexpected image over it, and that's when people start to like get even more into it, because just at least around Purchase, like it's mostly rock bands.
I would even say New York too. There's not a lot of synth pop.
East Coast DIY in general.
Synth pop is kind of like dead, and like
everyone takes things really seriously, which is good. Like you should take music seriously.
Yeah, take music seriously.
At the same time, I think we take our music just as seriously, just not in our image at least. I take a lot more inspiration for this project just from a lot of soul and funk music from like the 60s through the 80s. Always listening to Prince, always throughout this. I got recently into I Want You by Marvin Gaye again. Wild as the Wind by Nina Simone. Listen to that a lot lately. I don't know if any of these are actually direct inspirations though for Penthouse Boys. With the Penthouse Boy character, you don't necessarily need a direct inspiration because you are inhabiting this new headspace. You'd have to think of what would the Penthouse Boys be inspired by instead,
right?
Instead of us just as actual musicians.
For I guess when you're talking about this project, what I've been influenced by would be like bands like New Edition, like boy bands, like 80s boy bands, Jackson 5, Troop. These are like old school 80s,
and
like
stuff like Sade and Prince.
Madonna, big Madonna fan. We're very big Madonna fans. And like even like 90s bands too, like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Me personally, I've been inspired by them. They're like gods in my book.
A lot more British music from like the 70s and 80s, like anything Paul Weller is involved with.
Yeah,
especially the Style Council.
Yeah, we have a lot of like I guess influences, but it all comes back down to the same style we make of music.
Yeah, like if it's kind of sleek and witty or smart and like catchy and grooves, like it all ends up in the mix. Come on, baby. Oh, baby.
Like up until last winter, we were like taking it like jokingly, and like we were like, oh, this isn't gonna go anywhere, or like we won't do anything with this really. A lot of people were like, oh yeah, this is really good, and like people were like digging it, and I was like, maybe we should actually take it seriously.
Yeah, it's like my dad's favorite thing that I've ever done.
And like we've received compliments that we have never received before, so it kind of like felt like keep it going, like maybe we're doing something right, you know what I mean? We were offered like a few shows, like important shows, and like that's when we started realizing like, hey, maybe we should kind of like take it seriously. And I think we're maybe going towards that direction.
It is a bit harder to write the songs now because we don't know like what people expect of us and how to evolve as a band that came together as like something just for fun one summer, and how to keep that going to keep people interested.
I do admit that our dynamic's a little bit more different now because of the pressure of like being a, I guess, more serious band.
Everyone wants you to play their apartment show on campus here and
Yeah.
whatnot. Everyone wants you to play like their birthday party or something. Should listen at night.
Well, for telephone, I would listen to like when you're like walking down like downtown New York, going to a place or like going to a bar, you know, just like on your way to a bar.
You listen when you're getting dressed up to go out to party. You know, you just got
When you're set to do something.
it's Friday night and you got home from work and you've got those few hours between, you know, getting off and going out, primping yourself in the mirror and whatnot. Prime time for us. Bright lights all around. Bright lights.
I would definitely agree to the point where that people nowadays can make music a lot more easier and a lot more cost effective through their computers, which is a great thing because like you could channel all your creativity onto the computer and not like spend maybe like this back then would be like $400, $500, and not everyone has $400, $500 to spend. So, you know, it's definitely something that, you know, makes music a lot more accessible.
You can also present your final project to a label after like you've achieved your vision too, which is how a lot of people get signed nowadays, which is pretty cool, I think.
We're not home anymore.
An aesthetic like is so important like nowadays in terms of like the whole DIY scene, you know, because there's a lot of bands out there that sound the same, look the same. You just gotta find a way to set yourself apart.
Even just personality wise, if you can describe your music in a more emotional and personal way to you, I think that already sets you apart. Because like when you read an interview too, you want the band to say something interesting.
And like when you see them live, you want to see a whole different thing. How people perceive you on stage and off stage should be two different things. And like if you could get them to think of you in those two different ways, I think you're going to be very successful.
Hey, new in town. Hey, new in town.
Shout out to True Folk TV, right?
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah.